Everyone, guess who? I wanted to check in because so many of you are sending me DMs and texts and emails lately, and I have been really bad at the whole check-in thing, so I apologize. So how am I doing is the number one question. I'm doing better. Thank you so much for asking that. My incision is amazing. I've been using the Remon skincare line that I use on my face that we have here at the studio, the Korean beauty line that I just adore. Clean, vegan, amazing results. So anyway, I've been using it on my face for quite some time, but I've been using it on the incision and it has been healing beautifully. Like between the work that they did to close me up and the product line, I don't even know if I'll see too much of it, which is great. I'm still inflamed and have some swelling, and apparently that can last for several months after the surgery. It is getting a bit better, but it is kind of disheartening. Only because it's not something that I usually deal with, and I've been dealing with being swollen and inflamed and feeling very kind of pregnant or beer belly-ish since November. So it's getting to be a bit much. I'd really like to fit into my clothes again. I know all of you out there that have had moments of body change, you can understand something like that. But the one thing that has been the biggest challenge for me, and maybe for you as well, if you've ever gone through a serious injury, a surgery, an illness, maybe a family issue that's taken you out of play for a while, is the mental part of this. It is not easy. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I know there's jokes of like, oh, you're Superwoman, you can do everything, but let me tell you, this has been hard. I've had to rebuild my body from injuries a few times over the last couple of years, between breaking my foot one year and ripping my hamstring off or shattering my elbow in places, but this is a whole different mental game. You know, I'm still wrapping my head around the fact that I had cancer living in my body for years. So there's this whole component of, can I trust this, right? And then it's the feeling of feeling fairly weak in comparison to what I felt before and having to rebuild again and find that strength, one, mentally, in order to work out, because really all I want to do is go play outside. I just want to keep going for walks. I just want to keep doing Pilates and bar. Like that stuff I love it all. But the fact of the matter is that I'm not as strong as I was. And regardless if I get there again or surpass that, I don't know. But it is a lot of work in my head to make sure that I'm doing my workouts and doing everything I need to do to regain the actual physical strength that I need and to be successful at it. It is not easy. There are moments when I am really frustrated. There are moments when I'm really ecstatic that I can do something I didn't do before. There are still moments when I'm trying to figure out how my body had this in it, and it kind of, I feel like in some ways failed me, but in other ways supported me, because I generally take pretty good care of myself with nutrition and supplementation and my workouts and my sleep quality and the products that we use in the home. And so I feel like I've been supported by this body, because it could have been much worse in a whole different scenario. But at the same time, there's this trust factor of, can I trust you now to move forward and be healthy? And it is such a head game, I'm not gonna lie. And again, if you've dealt with an injury, if you've dealt with an illness, you've been out of the loop for a while and you're trying to get back in, whether it's to your nutrition program or your workout program or anything, or life, it's not easy. It is not easy. I'm gonna tell you that talking to somebody, if you have a therapist or a counselor, can make all the difference in the world if it's the right person. I've gone back to my download dump. So every morning since I have been waking up much earlier than I used to, I just go into the den now and write, grab some water, coffee, whatever, and I'll just write for 10, 15, 20 minutes, maybe a half an hour, whatever it is, and just get rid of whatever's on my head and get it onto paper so I don't have to think about it. And finding ways to clear my head and clear my space to make sure that I'm kind of in the right headspace for everything. am not always there. I don't know if you've ever experienced that, but I'm not always there. I try and get there. Some days are easier than others. I'm not going to pretend that this is a cakewalk. It is not. It is interesting. It is frustrating. It is joyful. It is an experience. It is a chapter in my life, but not my whole life. And it is part of who I am and part of who I will be moving forward. But it's not always easy. And if you've shared in any of these things before, then you understand what I'm saying. It takes time, it takes energy, it takes willing to do the work. And yeah, so if you're on a journey similar to this, give yourself the time that you need to heal and move forward, but at the same time, give yourself a little kick in the butt so that you actually do it. So anyway, maybe you can relate to all this, maybe you can't, but just know if you can, you're not alone. I'm right there with you. I am not Superwoman. I am not invincible. I just believe in the power of the mind and the body connection and the ability to move forward. I know this is just a part of my life. It's just part of your life. And it makes us who we are, stronger, better, more educated, more empathetic, or at least it can. Hopefully it has. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of share a little bit of that. So I am doing much better than I was, but it is definitely not perfect. Not that I expect it to be perfect, but just in case you've had these experiences, just know that you're not alone. It is not always easy. It is always a journey. And hopefully you have an amazing village like I have that support you and cheer you on and light a little fire under your butt and inspire you to do, be, and have more. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for checking on me. Thanks for being part of my village. Thanks for inspiring me. And I'll talk to you soon.